everyone, this is Rise and Shield bringing you a boss breakdown for the Mantis Lords. Just as a forewarning, this is an optional fight and is not required to beat the game. However, following the order of my walkthrough, this is the third boss we face. If you choose to fight them later, you will have better abilities and charms to use. But this video will break down what we have to fight them with, their moveset and how to dodge each attack, when we can heal during the fight, and how to bring it together to beat them. I will be viewing this fight as if it was attempted right now. Feel free to adjust the strategy and techniques if you have more abilities and charms available to you. So what are we bringing to the fight? For this fight, we've upped our arsenal with yet another powerful charm and one of my favorites, the Shaman Stone. Using the Shaman Stone increases the damage of our spells, making them do more damage, and specifically, making each vengeful spirit 4 times stronger than a single nail hit. Which means using soul attacks does more damage than a swinging the nail. I still have Soul Catcher equipped as it combos well with the Shaman Stone. At this point there are several options for charms, including the fragile charms available to you. Over time you'll figure out what you're most comfortable with, but a more soul focused build is just what I prefer running. And before we start the fight, there's a neat little cubby over the top left of the arena that holds Lifeblood. It's a free 2 hits that keep you alive in the fight, and there's no real reason not to use it, so just Mantis claw up the door and go break it open. So on to the fight. What can the Mantis Lords actually do? The Mantis Lords are a very simple boss, but with a twist. The fight is separated into 2 phases. The first phase sees the knight versus a single Mantis Lord, and the second phase is the knight versus 2 Mantis Lords at the same time. There are only 4 different attacks to deal with in each of the phases. 2 of those attacks stay the same through both phases, making this one of the simplest boss fights in the game. The main telegraph for all of these attacks is the appearance of the Mantis Lords in the arena. While it might sound strange to put it like that, every time a Mantis Lord appears, it is guaranteed to attack, and each attack ends with the Mantis Lord vanishing from the arena. The type of attack is determined by where they appear in the arena, so let's move on to the attacks. The first attack is a drop. The Mantis Lord will appear in the air directly above the knight. Then after a pause, will drop straight down onto the knight. To dodge this attack, all that is needed is to walk or dash left or right. The Mantis Lord can be hit after they land. This is the perfect time to get a single nail attack and a vengeful spirit attack if you can. Their second attack is a dash. The telegraph for the attack is the Mantis Lord appearing at the edge of the arena. The dash starts at the edge and continues to the opposite end. The easiest way to dodge this attack is to simply jump over it. The knight can do damage if they perform a downward slash as the Mantis Lord passes underneath them. If both Mantis Lords are doing the attack at the same time, both of them can be hit with a single downward nail strike as they pass underneath. Be warned that if the knight is standing at the edge of the arena, the Mantis Lord can appear on top of you to deal damage with this attack. So try to stick to the center of the arena as best you can. Different from the first 2 attacks, the third is a long-range boomerang attack. There are 2 versions of it in each phase. For the first phase, it is either a high boomerang or a low boomerang. Appearing attached to the wall in either a high or low position determines which of these 2 attacks the Mantis Lord will be trying. In this phase, the knight only has to jump over the boomerang to avoid it. They can also pogo the boomerang itself by performing a downward slash. In the first phase, the Mantis Lord is low enough on the wall to be hit by the knight. This leaves a good window of opportunity to do damage. For the second phase, these boomerangs take a different pattern. Both Mantis Lords will appear at the top of the wall, and then they will throw their blades in one of 2 patterns. In the first pattern, the boomerangs will go to the opposite edge of the arena, and then return back to the other side. To dodge this variation, just sit in the center and jump over it as they pass underneath the knight. The second pattern will slow in the center of the arena and go back towards the Mantis through it. The easiest way to dodge this version is to go to the edge of the arena, and as the boomerangs start to go towards the edge, jump over it and dash to the center of the arena. Unfortunately, it is not realistic to do damage during this attack in the second phase, as we do not have Howling Wraiths or the Abyss Shriek as we would if we did this fight later in the game. If the worst happens and we get hit, when can we heal? Well, if you are in dire need of healing, there are several opportunities to do so. If there's a single Mantis Lord on the field, you can get a guaranteed heal off during the boomerang attack. It is easier to heal during the low boomerang that goes high, as you have extra time and don't need to dodge it at the end. You can also get heals off during the phase transitions without fear. Just be warned that the only clue to the exact start of the second phase is when the Mantis Lords start appearing. Try not to get caught with your pants down, or your healing will go to waste. In the second phase of the fight, you can also heal during the boomerang attack. Make your way to the edge of the arena and wait for the telegraph of the attack. Start healing as soon as you see it. While most of the time you can stand in the middle of the arena and heal, I wouldn't recommend it as it is risky. So how do we bring it together to finish the fight? This fight will feel the most chaotic of the fights so far. This means step 1 is to not panic dash into the spikes on the edge of the arena or into a possible second Mantis Lord. Step 2 is dodging properly. For every attack you dodge, you can get at least one hit in, which will eventually end the fight. That means this is a reactive fight and not an aggressive one like previous boss battles. In the first phase, get hits when you can and wait for them to stick to a wall and unleash your Spirit Blast for big damage. If you feel confident, you can use your Vengeful Spirit after dodging the dash attack. In the second phase, our main damage is from the nail as we dodge the attacks. Take it slow and steady and the fight should be easy. Heal if necessary, and this fight shouldn't take very long even without later upgrades. This fight isn't the fastest since we didn't delay for these upgrades, but it really isn't that bad. Honestly, the worst part of this fight is waiting to be able to do damage. Think of it as a family Christmas party. No one really wants to be there, but the presents you get at the end may just be worth it. After the fight, make sure to explore the room on the right of the village as you make your way up to get a well-deserved bench, a Hallow Nest seal, a chest full of Geo, and the Mark of Pride. If you're feeling brave, go stare into Deep Nest and see if it stares back. I feel obligated to add a section here if you happen to come back after you have more upgrades, and what you can change. While most of your attacks will stay the same, as well as the dodging, there are more ways to do bigger damage. While the double jump and shadow dash allow for easier ways to maneuver out of damage, they aren't really necessary to do well in the fight. The most notable addition to your abilities is the Howling Wraiths or the Abyss Shriek. Anytime a Mantis Lord is stuck to a wall, use the attack without fear of them dodging for that sweet, juicy damage. You can also do a shriek as they're preparing to drop, but you will more than likely be hit as you do so I wouldn't really recommend it. As always, let me know if there's a boss you want to see broken down next, otherwise I'll continue in the order of my walkthrough. If this was helpful, feel free to like and subscribe to see me break down the rest of the bosses in Hollow Knight. Until then, happy hunting.